Plural nouns adding es. In English, we must add an es to the end of some of our plurals, otherwise the word becomes hard to pronounce. We can end up sounding like a snake with lots of at the end of our words. This is because certain letters or groups of letters have an S sound to them, and when adding an S to the end of the word, it adds too much sound. There is another time we should add an ES to the end of a word, but we will look at that later in this lesson. So let's get started. So when do we add ES to our nouns? When we have an S, SH, CH, X or Z at the end of our nouns. Z requires a little extra attention. Words such as bus becomes buses, brush becomes brushes, match becomes matches, and box becomes boxes. Adding ES to Z, Part 1. Words that end with the letter Z can be a bit confusing. Why? Most of the time with words ending with a Z or ZZ, add ES, but not always. For example, waltz becomes waltzes, buzz becomes buzzers, and frizz becomes frizzes. Adding ES to Z, Part 2. Sometimes we need to add an extra Z, then ES. For example, quiz becomes quizzes. Otherwise, the best way to deal with this is to memorize the words as there are only a few, or check with the dictionary if you are unsure. What about proper nouns such as the names of people? Well, if the person's last name doesn't end with an S, you can simply add an S. For example, Kennedy becomes Kennedys, Smith becomes Smiths,
Hello.
and Johnson becomes Johnsons.
Hi. Hello. Hi there.
Do not use apostrophe S as this is for possessives, not plurals. Proper nouns that end with an S. For proper nouns that end with an S, you must add ES. For example, the name Jones, you will add es, becoming Joneses. Other examples are James becomes James's, Richards becomes Richards's. Again, don't add apostrophe s when speaking about plurals. This is for possessives, not plurals. How did you go? The rules when to add es. If it ends with s, sh, ch, x or z, you need to add es. Most of the time, if it ends with a z or double z, add es. There are a few words where you need to add an extra z, such as quiz becomes quizzes, and if the proper noun ends with an s, add es. Thank you for coming along. For further lessons, advice, helps, tips, and a free newsletter, visit www.mykindofenglish.com.
Hello.
Well, what are you waiting for? Give us a call.